going to be a bumpy night.
What's going on, everybody? This is the Laugh Bunker podcast, and it is episode number 12, right? No, 20.
No, 20.
Jesus
20,
Christ, 20. It's 20 episodes.
Yes, sir.
Can you believe we've done 20 so far?
Yeah, it's amazing that people have allowed us to do 20.
Yeah.
People haven't heard us.
Well, we forced our way in. And if we force our way in, hopefully they enjoy it.
Well, I mean, let's take it. There's no IQ requirement for a podcast in America.
No.
None. In
Just
fact, the lower the IQ, it's probably more entertaining.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. It's October 30th, though. The day before Halloween. Tomorrow's Halloween, right?
Yeah, tomorrow's Halloween, and I've eaten a lot of. I like the candy corn.
I know the candy corn?
Yeah, it's the crack of Halloween candy. It's just pure sugar. I don't snort it anymore because it gets all gummy and it's embarrassing to go to the emergency room. But I eat it a lot, and Halloween was huge when I was a kid growing up out east. I mean, we would go and we carried pillowcases and we would fill those half up. And not with crappy candy, good candy, not that stuff you don't even know what it is, sour grapes or whatever.
Did you have full bars? Were you giving, because they didn't have bite size, fun size?
No, they did. They did later on, but when we got it, it was really nice, and and we would be gone from. So when you grow up in Detroit, the night before, which would be tonight, is called Devil's Night. Okay. And in Devil's Night, you go out and wax windows and throw eggs and do horrible things. And then Halloween is when you do the whole trick-or-treating. Yeah. So you grew up trick-or-treating?
I grew up trick-or-treating. Went around the neighborhood. Spent a lot of time at like my school. My elementary school will have a lot of like an annual Halloween event, and kind of like the entire area will kind of go. It was cool. They had like hay rides and stuff like that, and stations of games, and it was like a fun little family event. So we'd do that every year. I don't remember too much, but I remember some of the costumes I had. I remember the mask from Jim Carrey. I was full on yellow suit with the green mask. I remember werewolf. I remember the Velociraptor from Jurassic Park. I had the hands and the head. Yeah, it was a fun time. I didn't start dressing up again until I was in my mid-20s for like adult, for parties and stuff like that.
I don't dress up anymore, but it's interesting. Yeah. And when you were talking about costumes, I had not thought about that in years. So I grew up in a different time, 60s and 70s. Certain costumes might be looked on as inappropriate nowadays, obviously. We were always wanting to be the homeless person, the bum, or the hobo.
Yeah.
The hobo. I mean, that's just, was big time for us. And wearing elements of military because of being in the 60s and early 70s. I mean, because of World War II, Vietnam, a lot of our uncles, relatives were all, had been served in the army. So we were either, and it's interesting because
kids like to grow up like that too, like with cops and Indian.
Yeah, not a lot of cops. Indian, I would say probably Native American costumes was probably huge.
Huge.
And the homeless sports, a lot of sports stars too would be whatever, nurses, doctors. But the truth is, we were just there for the candy.
Yeah.
So we were just 1 second. Hey, I'm on podcast.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Sorry. People. Yeah. And so in that situation, it was huge too in our school, like you said. What would be your favorite then Halloween treats or candy, or I mean, what do you like?
Favorite candy? Nerds. I'm a big fan of Nerds. Getting like the little box and just kind of chilling on the couch and just eating Nerds.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, M&Ms.
nice.
Let's say Reese's peanut butter cups are usually really good, and
I just ate 2 of those.
yeah,
By the
there
way,
you go. They're so good. And then Almond Joys. I'm a big fan of Almond Joys.
I
The
just
coconut
never.
and the chocolate.
Yeah, I never liked coconut because it
Uh-huh.
reminded. It makes me think of hair in my throat, and there's something about that
Yeah.
just. And then I see the visual of the one circular hair that throws it all away.
To
But
me,
no, I'm not a
they're so
coconut guy.
good, man. They're so good. Those are actually probably one of my favorites is Almond Joys. Like if it's an Almond Joy in the big bag of like candy, I'm going probably for the Almond
I
Joy.
think Reese's is probably in the top 1 or 2 of the candy bars, and I think Snickers is probably pretty high up there also.
Yeah. I think
Probably Snickers, Milky Way.
Mhm.
I just read that the heir of Mars, the candy
Mars
company,
Uh-huh.
she's worth 7 point something billion
Of course,
dollars.
yeah. Yeah, of course she is.
Well, I mean, it's the ultimate. It's the legal drug, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if I don't eat any of it, I'm good. But once I start, like if I make cookies, I eat handfuls of those chocolate chips.
Her family's in the drug business. They're basically a cartel. That's what they are. They're just peddling drugs.
And it's something that everybody likes. Now, what about is your son dressing up for this Halloween?
His first Halloween, we dressed him up. He was about close to 1 year old. He's gonna be close to 2 now. So it's he was an Ewok from Star Wars.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Ewok. That's the hairy thing.
Yeah, the little hairy thing.
Yeah, from the woods.
That was an easy one to dress him up as. So we put him as an Ewok.
What about this year? Any
year,
Halloween plans?
I don't know. We're not doing anything. I'm like, we're just staying home. I don't know. I don't know.
It's so weird, man. The kids missing out on the school. I know your wife being a teacher, my wife, just the problems, and it's just very fascinating. But
it is.
I will tell your son that I will carry him for Halloween and eat candy for him. So don't worry. He'll probably gain a few pounds over the weekend and get a handful of cavity. I never had a cavity.
Really?
Till I moved. No, I never. And I ate tons of candy, obviously. I never had a cavity till I worked at this very wealthy condominium right across from the Sunset Marquis in West Hollywood over there.
Yeah.
And they had this jar of candy.
Yeah.
And I was working doubles. So I was coming from our hotel.
Yeah.
Working 6 to 2 and then working there 3 to 11, getting home at midnight, getting up at 4, doing it again. I did that 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
And, but they had this jar of candy and I would just be chewing it. And I don't suck on candy. I just crush it. I want it all at one time. I want every ounce. I want it all. Don't screw around. So but in that area, I had 7 cavities on this one side from chewing on candy. And the dentist was like, I don't understand. He's like, what are you eating? And I said, well, I eat candy in this one side. But
well, aren't they saying that like isn't if you look up back on history, isn't it like before the discovery of like sugar, the teeth, the condition of everybody's teeth were a little bit better than they were up until that point. Like after sugar was kind of made a circulation around the population.
Unless they were from Britain, because if you see those people's teeth today,
well, they were.
It's brutal. Imagine going down to the Middle Ages.
Yeah,
there was a lot of bad breath. I don't even know how the world actually got. I guess they didn't realize of smells and different things, but when I watch these like Game of Thrones, I think, man, these people haven't showered in like months.
I know.
And how are they procreating? Because they're drinking.
Yeah.
the mead. Have you ever had mead? The drink? I was just wondering.
No,
you know
I don't think so.
Is it like a beer? You know what I'm talking about? The Vikings and even in Game of Thrones, they talk about mead.
I think it's like a beer. I've only seen it's been brought to my attention a couple of times. One time recently, I saw the lead singer of Tool and A Perfect Circle, Maynard. He was on Rogan's podcast, and he has his own wine company up in Arizona. He has like his own fields and everything. Super into it. He bottles his own wine and sells it. But he just came out with a canned beer, wine beer, and then one of them is mead. He has a canned mead.
Really?
I'm looking to try it.
I'd be interested to know. Do you drink wine?
I'm up for wine. There's a point in my life where I was consuming just a lot of wine. I had an ex of mine who really liked wine, so it was just on a wine binge.
What kind of wine do you like?
It's whatever's in front of me.
My wife will only drink Cabernet.
Okay.
That's all she likes, because I guess that's the strongest.
Right. Is it? I don't know.
It's just heavy. It makes me sleep. Red wine will make me sleep better.
The buzzes that you get from like a wine is much different than like a beer or any alcohol. It's like a lighter buzz, but it's a good one. I enjoy it. I enjoy the buzz of wine, a good wine.
Interesting. I like I'd never had any good wine, and then on my 40th birthday, I had a friend who I had worked with. He came from Frankfurt and brought me a bottle, and this is what year was that? 2002. So in 2002, this bottle of wine was 180 euros back then.
Okay.
And so they opened it, and I drank it, and I said, "Well, what is this? This is not the wine. I don't even know what this is."
Yeah.
It's smooth. I mean, it was just it was, and that's the only bottle in my whole life that I've had. I mean, for me, a jump of a nice bottle of wine is I like Coppola's, Francis Ford Coppola's wine.
Yeah,
it's a nice mid-price. It tastes very good. I like that Clarnay that it has. In fact. But and I like him, so I have a choice. I have to.
Yeah, he's got like a special director's cut bottle. Have you seen it?
No.
It's dark. It's like almost black glass, and then it's got like this like spiral kind of white like label. Like
okay. No, I'll have to check. I'll have to check it out. I haven't. I'm not a connoisseur.
Me neither.
But anyway, that's all
I walk down those aisles and I see this, they're covered with wines, and I'm lost. I don't know anybody that's like a big connoisseur of wine that really likes, that knows the ins and outs of wine or what's good and what's not.
Did you see that movie about I can't think of the name of it right now. It had Paul Giamatti. Yeah. Paul Giamatti and the other dude from the TV show. He's from the Wings. Wasn't Wings a TV show?
Yeah, Thomas Hayden Church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays in it, and then the Cho lady from
she's on Killing Eve right now. Yeah, Sandra.
Yeah, Killing Eve, but she was also on the famous another big show.
Grey's Anatomy?
That's still going on, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I don't know hardly. So anyway, other than that,
that was a good movie. Solid movie.
So in my life, other than that, hiking, nothing because of the bad weather. Gonna build the fence for my wife.
Yeah.
On election day, then of course is election day, November 3rd coming up, and it's also the 111th birthday of J. Paul Conroy, of my grandfather.
Yeah.
So are you
working that night?
Yeah.
You probably are.
I mean, I don't know.
We'll take it. Or do you mind we'll take a shot? We'll jump on Skype real quick. We'll take a shot before you head out to work. You do that? Just one. Just one shot.
We'll see. I don't normally have a shot before work. I was telling someone that I worked one time with an alcoholic person, like a real alcoholic person.
Yeah.
And he was my supervisor at a warehouse I worked at. He was a cool guy, whatever. But he would have 2 beers on the way to work.
Yeah, that's
2 beers. And
sometimes
so
I think I have a problem, and I'm sure you've thought about it once or twice before, but then you hear about somebody like that where they literally they just every waking moment they're drinking. I can't.
No, I would say for me, probably in the last 3 or 4 years, but no, I there was 22 years of my life where I didn't have a drink. And even before then, to be honest with you, even in high school, I never was the drinker.
Yeah.
I was more of the other kind of partier. So and probably have drank more from March till now than I did in the last 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
It's not like that. It's bad for your body.
Yeah.
Me, not a moral reason, but but this guy, we went to lunch. He said, "Hey, would you like to go to lunch?" I said, "Sure." So we went and got pizza. He ordered a pitcher of beer for each of us at lunch.
just so, is it just so he wouldn't feel
probably
bad about drinking all one to himself? He wanted one to himself. Okay,
so this is even so. Then he said, "Hey, do you want to go to happy hour at Chi-Chi's?" Chi-Chi's is a kind of a pseudo Mexican restaurant on the east side, Chicago area.
Chi-Chi's is like, I mean, obviously you can assume what Chi-Chi's, in the Mexican and Spanish, or even like in Mexican culture when you say Chi-Chi.
So I probably don't want to know, but
it's kind of like, it would be like if Hooters. It would be like if the restaurant was called Hooters. Basically,
this was they had the cheap, margaritas, and then they had all the crappy finger food and out. So we went there after work about 5 o'clock, and the next morning I was in Ohio at Cedar Point at that amusement park I was telling you about. And I definitely, after drinking all night, was not wanting to get on the roller coaster at all. So, but anyway, he was, and then I helped him move one time. This guy drank all the way down to Ohio from Grand Rapids, Michigan. So like going from here to Ohio. He was moving to Dayton, Ohio. Just a crazy dude, man.
Yeah, I didn't start drinking until I got in my 20s. And then it kind of picked up towards my late 20s. I here and there throughout my 20s. Obviously, off and on throughout my. I've never depended on it though. Not like somebody like that.
Oh no.
I just like to have a good time. I don't know.
Truth is, if I wasn't, I think my work stress might lead to having a drink before I go to bed, even to try to sleep at 4:30 in the morning. Even today.
Yeah.
Yesterday I slept into 2:30, was all wasted out, and then when I couldn't sleep last night, and I was up to. It is what it is. But that being said, so no, I don't like it. And the truth is, I really try to live by the adage of not drinking or eating bad 2 days in a row. I mean, I really try to keep with that. Puts me 4 days up.
Yeah.
And when it's hot or when I'm hiking a lot, I don't drink at all.
This entire quarantine, I think. See, the thing is, I'm not on your friend's level, but I do like to have like a shot every now and then. Like I've this entire quarantine, I've maintained a level of drinking that's been very minimal but consistent.
And that's something to be proud of.
So and then even before that,
full on living in the gutter is just phenomenal.
No, I'm controlled it, but I do like to go. I used to like to go out a lot. I used to like to partake in grab a drink or just even socialize. Sometimes a little bit too much, but I think
I'm shocked there aren't more DUIs.
Yeah, I'm shocked that I haven't gotten one at least once.
No, but I mean, well, even the other day driving from your house after we drank a fifth.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, that was over. I
spent the next day recovering for sure.
Really?
That took me. Yeah. Well, because I also had a cookie too.
Oh. Yeah. So, just on a side note, that bakery good is pretty good, don't you think?
Yeah.
Do you think so?
It was.
I mean, would you say that was lived up to your expectation?
Yeah, that was pretty powerful.
Totally, yes.
I pretty much ate the entire cookie, so it really.
Okay, and you slept like an incredible.
And basically all the next day too. That was good.
Well, good, and it tasted phenomenal. Tasted pretty good, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
I hit it, and that wasn't even fresh. Those were frozen. So good, excellent. Well, that was the first thing we're going to work on that. And this weekend, because of you know, but you know what? It was cool to just sit, talk film, and
just chill. We had Narcos playing.
It was great. It was very interesting. And so anyway, yes, definitely November 3rd is the election. Everybody should be voting.
Yeah.
People died for your right to vote. Fact. And some places in the world you cannot vote.
Yep.
So everyone should be out there and do that. And everyone should also then, after you cast your vote, should do a shot for my grandfather, John Paul Conroy.
Definitely.
And it better not be any Protestant type of alcohol. It has to be the Catholic, because that's the way it was.
Yeah.
And other than that, really didn't watch tons this last week. I don't know what, for me, I did watch Tom Brady crush.
Okay.
The Raiders. He ran for a touchdown and passed for 4.
Nice. And
they're just, and the Gronk is rolling. They signed Antonio Brown, the psycho guy, but he's incredible.
Probably one of the best players in the league at his position.
Right, one of the best hands. So they're looking like and their defense, Tampa Bay's defense. So they've got Sunday night. I'm going to watch. They're going to play the Giants, and so by halfway through, they should be 6-2. I watched Narcos like you. Always happy to just sit in. Usually Fridays, on the days I don't do jack because I'm exhausted from work, is a Narcos night. But I watched an old Western. Now, do you like cowboy movies? I mean, do you like Westerns?
No, I do. Okay,
what's your favorite? I mean, just offbeat. Give me 2 of your favorite Westerns.
Westerns. Oh, wow. Some of them I've seen recently. One was with Christian Bale and
Russell Crowe.
No, the 3:10 to Yuma. Is that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that one's good, but Christian Bale has another one with
Hostels.
Is it Hostels? Yeah.
Yes. Great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
I saw that one recently. I saw another one with
he's got to be an insane dude in real life, man.
He seems like really chill, but like when it comes to acting and the guy's got.
Well, hey, do you remember when he went off on the dude? The DP?
Oh, yeah. The audio came out of that.
Yeah, and then, I mean, then was screaming at his mom and stuff.
Yeah,
and his sister.
Yeah,
didn't they call the police on him?
Did they?
Something, and there was some weird thing going. Anyway, the dude, like we always say, nobody on that. You win an Oscar.
Nobody on that level.
You got problems.
Acting. Yeah,
you're not. You if you don't have problems, you're not winning. We don't believe you. You're not. You can't separate yourself. So he's a phenomenal actor.
So I've seen those. Fassbender came out with one recently. Oh, Slow West. Did you ever see that one?
No.
It was a good one. It's a small movie.
I'm not a cowboy dude, to be honest with you.
I'm not either, but the right movie, if it looks interesting, if it looks good,
I mean, Tombstone would be one that I'm going to put up. Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood and Gene Hackman is one of my favorite cowboy. The Quick and the Dead with Gene Hackman, Sharon Stone, and Russell Crowe, I thought was a good movie. Yeah. And Gary Sinise plays the bad guy in that movie.
Yeah.
And who killed Gene Hackman's wife, or killed Sharon Stone's husband. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. And but anyway, and then Leonardo DiCaprio's in there. So
yeah, you have Django.
Okay, so I watched this old cowboy movie called The Garden of Evil, 1954, directed by Henry Hathaway, who it did 15 years later did the famous True Grit with John Wayne.
Okay.
So pretty classic movie. But this had Gary Cooper, Susan Hayward, and Richard Widmark. Now, Gary Cooper, you're familiar with the name Gary Cooper, old movie star.
Yeah.
He won 3 Oscars, was nominated for 5 more, and was in 84 movies. That's stinking.
That's stinking. Yeah.
And was, the face of Hollywood for a while.
Yeah.
And but the show, so you know how I always watch one show with my wife?
Uh-huh.
Well, she got me hooked on Nurse Jackie.
Okay. Which is a great show.
And I watched.
I only saw maybe up to season 3.
You're missing it. It doesn't start kicking into 5.
Okay.
when the stakes get raised. Now we all love Edie Falco.
Yeah.
Going back to The Sopranos, obviously.
And this was her follow-up to Sopranos, basically, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And her side note, creators of this, Nurse Jackie, are the ones that created Glow, that brought Betty Gilpin over from that, which I guess that was the show I meant to tell you got canceled.
I know.
I just read, and I liked it personally. I liked that. I love the girl from Breeze, the girl from Mad Men. I think, and Community. She's just a superstar, and the comedian.
Yeah,
Mark Maron. Yeah, excellent.
If anybody hasn't seen Glow, it's on Netflix. What, 3 seasons it came out?
No, I think just 2.
Was it just 2?
Yeah, because the first season, then they go to Vegas.
Okay, I thought it was 3.
Okay, well then they cut the show before they went to Vegas.
Okay,
but
no, they went to Vegas, and they have one in Vegas. I'm assuming that the Vegas one was the last one. The last.
No, the only one I saw was the first couple then.
Okay.
But anyway, that was the creator. So Nurse Jackie, but there's this girl in Nurse Jackie, this Merritt Weaver.
Yeah, 3 seasons. Yeah.
This Merritt Weaver in Nurse Jackie. You know, the young
one. The young nurse. Yeah.
That girl is she is one of the most natural actors. I mean, I want to watch her other stuff now on Netflix because she's just a scene stealer.
She is.
And I thought the show was excellent. And there was nothing in it I didn't like.
Yeah.
I think it truly, for people with addictions, they just, they barrel through life and destroy a lot of lives. And I thought it was great. And I really have rewatched a lot. I watched the last season twice, once with myself and then with my wife. I liked it. And I don't want to talk about the ending, but if you do watch it, I'd like to discuss it. So
of course,
that was my watch. I enjoyed it. They bring Tony Shalhoub in in the 7th season, and he's a doctor who...
Did it go 7 seasons?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Listen,
it was on Showtime, and it was around the same time as like Dexter, Californication.
Yep. Which I liked. Okay, now that you mentioned that show, on a side note, I like that show, Californication, myself.
Oh, it's one of my favorites. I've seen it 8
seasons. It had some weak parts in it, but I really love. And you know what's funny? The wife in Californication is the girl that Truman sees, Carey,
falls in love with.
And I just saw that part of the Truman Show the other day. Her eyes, they're just like magnetic, and so she's in that. And
she still looks great. She was in a short-lived show with Sean Penn. It was on Amazon. I think it was on Amazon. It only went like a season or 2, but she was on that show. She looks great, almost the same.
Californication, great show.
Yeah, I've seen that series over probably 2 or 3 times, 3 times already. I love it. I
thought it was really, really, and there's some parts in there that are
they just make it crack up, man. I'm just like, and I can't watch David Duchovny and go back. I can watch that one and then go back to X-Files. It's hard to watch that, go back to
X-Files. Especially since he had to go to a rehab.
Yeah, because he's such a great
different
comedic
kind of
actor.
rehab. He had to go to a sexual rehab.
Yeah, he was in a short-lived Netflix show. No, Netflix, CBS. It was Aquarius.
It's on. It's on
Netflix
right now. It got picked up, but I haven't seen it.
It's good. It's only
serial killer.
It's based around 70s crime kind of show. It's got a little bit of the Manson stuff in the backdrop, kind of Joe delves in that kind of world. Really good show. I was sad that it wasn't picked up for a 3rd season, but the first 2, it's great. And his characters.
My wife and daughter loved. Obviously his first show. That made the whole alien thing was massive in our household. Did you like the movies too?
I love the movies. I saw
The first movie I thought was really good.
the first
personally.
one's really good. I saw that one in Vegas. I was in Vegas at the time it came out, and then I remember went to go see it. Probably what 98, 97? I think it was 97 it came out.
Hey, on a side note of
yeah.
Vegas, what is the most famous boxing? Is there boxing clubs in Vegas?
Mayweather's.
Oh, he has his
Mayweather's
own.
gym. Hmm. I used to when I was living in Vegas, that boxing gym was like down the street.
I applied to work the front desk at his.
Oh really?
He has one over here now
Oh, does he?
in Pasadena. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or not now. He did before COVID.
It's in like a small shopping complex. It's like.
But I mean, is there any old school like boxing? How about in LA? What would be the premier?
Freddie Roach's.
Well, yeah.
The wild card. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably from off the top of my head. That's I don't know.
Now I know MMA is going on, but is there no boxing? Is boxing still going on? You're not hearing about it as much.
No, it's not getting as much buzz because they really haven't had a lot of big fights. They've been small fights. You know, the Charo brothers. The biggest fight recently was Lomachenko and Lopez. That was
what. So what have you been watching?
Just in general, what I've been watching.
Yeah.
Well, what I've been up to? Went to San Diego.
Yeah, I saw the picture.
Yeah.
How was that?
It's great, man. San Diego, I think is. I mean, I love it down there. They're doing the whole.
Would you live down there if you could?
Oh yeah. We've talked about it.
A lot of people really like it.
Every time I go down there, I tell my wife, I'm like, oh, I would love to live down here.
What? Okay, but what do you like about it?
Everything. I mean, the restaurants, the scenery, the town, the downtown area is super clean. You could just basically walk the streets, totally safe. Like for the most part, I've never had an issue. I've been going there for years.
What's your favorite beach that you go to when you're down in San Diego?
I don't really hit up the beach that much. I just love being downtown. I like staying at a nice hotel down there.
You're not going down there and surfing?
No,
I don't getting like some tasty waves.
I don't do the water. I don't do the water up here. I don't do the water down there.
What do you mean you don't do the water?
I'm not an ocean person. I don't like. I'm not a.
Are you afraid to get in the water?
I guess a part of it, yeah.
You didn't grow up swimming then?
Not in the ocean. No, I was never comfortable in the ocean.
Well, make sure that you get your boy trained in swimming.
Oh yeah,
he's young.
Oh yeah,
because when you see the amount of deaths of children who haven't, I mean, it's just
my dad has a pool, so I'm planning on.
Excellent.
He really loves being in the water. Like he loves.
Oh, that's great. Because we grew up with pools.
Yeah, he falls.
I had a pool growing up, and then we were in at the YMCA getting. I would have to say we were probably 5 years old because I think we had swim lessons in kindergarten. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I did. I get used that age too.
But yeah, we swam for hours. I mean, and even in Chicago, the Park District, which is separate of the city, so the whole front of Chicago, the whole lakefront is owned, and the city can't mess with it. Okay. So they have. I mean, we had a Park District a mile from our office, and we would walk there for lunch and swim. Cost nothing. You could study. My daughter studied martial arts for $5. I boxed. In fact, I boxed for free because it was part of the Park District down at Clarendon Park where they had all the fights. Yeah. And but anyway, it was just a nice thing. And swimming is cool. Are you a good swimmer?
Cool. I'm an okay swimmer. I'm a decent swimmer.
Do you ever swim? Do you ever surf?
No. I'm not an ocean person. I don't feel comfortable going to the ocean. I just don't like it. I don't like knowing what's around me, below me, beneath me, around me.
Well, you don't have to. I can tell you there's a lot of sharks.
That's why.
A lot of stuff with sharp teeth. A lot of stuff that stings, and there's a lot of bad stuff in there. But it's just
and since my knee surgery, I haven't really done a lot of swimming. I've done a little bit, but not that much.
You know what? You should think about joining an outdoor gym for even a few months for leg extension, leg curls, just for muscle balance to support your knee, because that's the only thing that will keep it in place. Yeah. But Yeah, I mean, you're young. If you don't make the moves
now. Yeah.
soon, then like Jaffrey, man, his leg is in a brace bent. He can't even walk. And I was like, dude, if you don't get this taken care of when you're my age, you're not going to be walking.
Yeah. He's in
You're going to be limping really hard because the body.
Yeah.
Rehab is hard.
I do as much as I can here. I try to max out with the squats and in terms of reps, one-legged squats, dumbbell squats, and then I have leg extensions. Because the machine I had, the one I showed you, is I'm able to do leg extensions. So I do as much as I can.
Make sure you do straight legs.
Yeah.
Lift with the weights as much as possible to strengthen the ham, because that'll keep the kneecap pulled in tight.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as San Diego, I love it down there. It's so nice down there. It's one of my favorite places to go.
What did you eat down there?
For dinner, we kept it simple. We spent most of the day out and about, but we kept it simple. Went to the spaghetti factory down the street from the hotel.
It's funny. We used to go to the spaghetti factory in Toronto when I was a kid.
It's good, man. Good deal, good food, and it was right by the hotel. And I'm thinking more for the little one. I'm like, I don't want to take him anywhere exotic right now. He's and risk him not even wanting to eat it. So I know he's always.
Do you like seafood?
He does. He likes shrimp. I do. Yeah, I'll eat.
What's your favorite seafood?
I mean, I don't know if there's any seafood I haven't really tried that I don't like. Shrimp.
I like scallops. My wife likes shrimp, but I don't like shrimp. I like scallops. And I like
shrimp tacos, shrimp everything.
Oh yeah, especially I like these ones down by Venice Beach. It was nice, I keep going. The Venice Beach is. I'm going to start going down there more and more. I think I might, when Gold's opens again down there, I might pick up that membership and go down there once a week. I really enjoyed working out and hanging out down there. And I like the ocean. Though I haven't been in the water. I can't tell you the last time I was in the ocean. I mean, we used to be in the ocean. I mean, we used to go there every weekend.
Long ago, I was in the ocean. I think we talked about it on here one time. I went on a hike. Went down to the cove and then jumped in the water. But before that, years. But no, they're doing it really good down there in terms of dealing with Corona, because the amount of tourism has died down. But the restaurants, they have some of the main streets in the downtown area blocked off, so you can walk up and down with your kids and the stroller and all that. And then a lot of the restaurants and bars have outdoor seating, dining. You can also dine in, which they're allowing over there. And it's just cool. We went. The main reason we went over there was to go to the San Diego Zoo. First time at the San Diego Zoo, and I really enjoyed it. It was really. I mean, compared to Los Angeles Zoo.
Oh, it's famous. I mean,
San Diego Zoo
is like the most famous zoo in America, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, that is just the way their exhibits and the way they have it all set up, the customer service in terms of like their park people, everybody's just cool.
Do the animals have masks on?
No, they have. You're required to wear a mask because you're in there. And the only time you take it off is when you're like sitting eating somewhere. But no, it's they're doing it right down there in San Diego, man. I really enjoyed it. We had a really good time. Spent about almost 2 days down there.
That's really nice. Cool. Nice to get out of the house, man.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get down there?
A little under an hour, or 2 hours. I'm sorry, a little under 2 hours.
I went down, helped a friend at there's a big convention center, and I don't remember where it is when you're heading in there. And I went to a big international powerlifting meet there.
Okay.
And I spotted him. In fact, I did the lift off for him. It was very interesting. It was gorgeous. It was close to the ocean. Yeah. But what I remember, we took, instead of going on the highway, we took some of these towns. We took 101 or 1 down. And we went through some of these small towns north of San Diego. Just thinking, oh man, you just live there the rest of your life.
Especially right there next to the zoo. There's the community right there next to the zoo. Now, majority of that community, you're ending up in kind of like the West Hollywood kind of style area, where it's more gay town. But that it's called Hillcrest.
It's not Gay Town anymore. It's Gay Village.
Gay Village
in the news.
Hillcrest, but Hillcrest,
it's not incorporated.
Yeah, Hillcrest is cool. I mean, I like it over there. It's right near the zoo. They got a lot of good restaurants over there too, so it's a really good spots. But that community around the zoo area it's so nice. It's like it's just the neighborhoods and all that, and then you get over into Hillcrest, and that's cool too. So it's a really cool north of San Diego. Really nice, really nice towns.
Yeah, the ocean is very healing. I like it. It's good. And so you go down there a lot. Where'd you stay?
At one of the Marriott's right there by the convention center.
Okay.
Yeah, not the
one.
Well,
then that's where I was. Where the convention center was. That's where the powerlifting meet was.
Yeah. They have a Hilton and a Marriott right next door to it. They're almost attached to the convention center. And then right across the street, you have, tons of hotels and bars. And so, yeah, I was right behind the Omni, which is right on the other side of the convention center street. So right there. But, yeah, good time. And we had a really good time. Just got back last night, and it was really fun. But as far as what I'm watching, I just got done watching a few episodes of Narcos season 3 with the Cali Cartel. Going back and watching that, it's almost like you watch Mexico season, and then you could watch this one, because basically it's the Mexico season is
it ties into it.
It ties in, and it's almost like a prequel to the Cali Cartel season.
I did love though when Diego goes and sees Pablo Escobar. That one, but that was kind of cool, because I love that black guy who's his henchman.
Yeah, his henchman.
I can't think of what his name was. It's not Poison, but anyway, I just love that they brought him in the whole deal.
Yeah,
I thought that was cool.
That was one of the great
scenes. I would like to know more, because I guess the Cali, and I was reading about Pacho of Cali. He was killed in the prison.
Yeah,
but he was killed by the North Valley cartel.
Okay,
that's what they said, because it was in retaliation for. Remember, he dragged
the guy apart with the motorcycles. Yeah.
So that was.
You think the guy that the girls are working with? He's in the North Valley. Remember that that Colombian drug dealer, the one that's in the jungle, where the girls will go to meet all the time. The two Mexican women. You know, they try to.
Yeah.
The brothers of the Tijuana brothers, their sister, and
that's the lady, the Beltran lady in real life.
Yeah,
who's running it now.
Yeah, so it's pretty. I don't know. It's gonna be really cool. I can't wait. Obviously, we haven't talked about it on this show yet, but season 3 of Narcos Mexico got picked up, so we're both excited. When I saw that in that morning, I was like, I instantly just bam.
As soon as I saw it, I went and bought a hat at the gas station that says Hencho in Mexico. It's a green and red hat, just so that I'm psyched for it.
Yeah.
And it's you know what it is though? To me, it's filler time. If I just sit down, usually when I eat, I watch something. So because of that, I just flip it on, because it's a show that's.
Mm-hmm. If I have nothing else I want to watch, and I'm like, let me just put on some Narcos. And it fills that void, and it's just entertaining, and you get sucked in. It doesn't matter where you're at in the season, but or what season you're on. But yeah, watch that one, Narcos. I highly recommend, and I mentioned it to you, The Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, my wife and I, we saw the. We'll probably. Truth is, now that Jackie's done, I'll probably check out the pilot. And I did watch some of it, to be honest with you. And I love the concept of chess.
Yeah, you're gonna really love this. If you're really intrigued by it, this one gets you sucked in hard. It's really, really, really good show. 7 episodes. Stars Anya Taylor-Joy, which I really like, from The Witch.
And I like the time period. I love the way it feels. I love the clothing. I love the especially it being in London, the architecture.
I'm really curious to see how you feel about it too, with the relationship that character has with the people around her, and especially like her mother.
The guy in the basement.
Everybody.
I've only seen about 20 minutes of it,
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
You're gonna get introduced to some characters, and it's gonna be because the girl herself is very kind of like she's kind of standoffish. She's got one of those cerebral type of characters. So especially with the mom. I wanted to see how you felt about the mom's character, which I really like that dynamic. But
no, I got your text and watched a little bit. But now, one thing, there's an article in New York Times, which I always like their art section, about Mank. And the title of the article is this Netflix first Oscar?
You think?
That's what the New York Times. That's what
the
title of the article was.
It'll be interesting.
Oh, I'm
curious to see that.
I was very excited when I saw it, so that's going to be very interesting. And I love the actors that are in there,
of course.
And it looks, we know who's, it's Fincher.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why he got rid of. Maybe that's why he was done with Mindhunter.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, because
there's no way you can direct a movie on that level and be trying. These guys that put out 2 or 3 series.
Yeah,
I love the Ryan Murphy guy. Incredibly talented, but it just gets watered down.
He spreads himself too thin.
It does. It gets too. There's no way. J.J. Abrams did it for a while too.
Yeah.
Though J.J. Abrams' Star Trek, his revision of it was phenomenal, and his casting, to me, that's probably my favorite Star Trek movie, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Though I do go all the way back with, the real ones.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of the original series, and grew up with Jean-Luc Picard and that series, Next Generation, but definitely the original series with William Shatner and Spock. That's my series. I go back. That's another show that I just put up on TV when I need a filler.
It's just amazing that even when he was at the Hollywood show, people just are flocking to that guy.
Yeah.
His nostalgia worth is staggering.
And he's been consistent. He's been like going Boston Legal for 6 seasons, 7 seasons.
Well, he did. What was the cop show?
Priceline commercial.
TJ
Hooker. Yeah. He's just a worker, man. The guy doesn't really. He's old and has he hasn't really slowed down at all. He's always doing
about the money he made from those commercials.
Yeah.
With that girl from
Big Bang. I think she was a Big Bang Theory. Yeah. And he was doing a tour of was it Wrath of Khan? He was doing a tour screening the Wrath of Khan and doing Q&As. And then
he was also
signings afterwards. Yeah.
Reading books.
Yeah. He just came out with a blues album.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah. Good for him. He's doing books about equestrian stuff because he's into horses, and he's doing guy's just all over the place, man. The guy doesn't stop.
Hey, the Rolling Stone gathers no moss.
Yep.
Once you stop, you're dead. Especially at his age.
Yeah.
Got to keep it going, man. How old is he? Near 80, right?
Near 80. Yeah. Yeah. He was on I don't know if I mentioned this. He was on Mike Tyson's podcast recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Him in a leather jacket just hanging out with Mike Tyson. Well, Mike Tyson smoked weed. Yeah.
Mike Tyson. Good for him too. Yeah. He doesn't have many brain cells left from boxing, so it's a good
He's going thing. He's going full on. Actually, I think he fights this weekend.
Oh, is this the weekend with Roy Jones Jr.?
I think it's this weekend, this Saturday. And then he's going full on with the whole weed business. He's got his ranch. He's got everything going on. So podcast.
He's going to have a hotel too.
His podcast is successful too. So he's doing
well. Of course, when you have a name, it makes it very easily to get and he's an iconic figure for sure, no doubt of opinion. It's funny because he had a sign, the Tyson Ranch.
Yeah.
And I would drive
past it on the 105.
Yeah, and I thought, oh man, he's doing something for kids. That's
for
awesome. I'm happy for him. I actually thought it was something like that. But so it is the election coming up.
Yep.
And I'm ready.
What is it? 5 days? Something like that? 4 days?
3 days.
3 days. When is the election?
Wait, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah. So
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Tuesday.
Okay.
What?
4 days.
4 days. There you go. 4 days.
I'm from Chicago, so I'll be voting early and often.
It's good. It's going to be interesting these next few days, see how things play out. But
what's going to be interesting is to see. Well, I know. I mean, they're not going to be able. They're well.
The reactions either way. Somebody asked me what I thought was going to happen, and I'm like, if he wins, you're going to see protests in the streets all over the country. If he loses,
no, there won't be any protests at all.
No, there's not going to be any protests.
No, because the people who voted for Trump have to get up and go to work the next day.
Yes.
I stole that joke. Okay, it's not mine. I stole it from someone who said. Okay. But anyway.
No, but what I think is going to happen, and on a serious, I guess we're talking political, we're going to go into political movies real quick. But what I think is going to happen if he loses, you're going to have his hardcore supporters. You're going to have to really watch out for those type of people, because they're going to do like.
Who are you talking about, though? I'm sorry, I was spacing out.
Oh, Trump's. Oh. If he loses.
I don't know. Truth is,
I'm talking about mass shooters, these one-off mass shooters that pop up at Walmarts and stuff like that. You're going to have a lot of those. I think that's domestic terrorism.
I hope not.
That's what I think.
And but it's truth is, I went to bed before the last one was finished out, and when I woke up, I was shocked, to be honest with you, that the president had won. And it's very interesting though, because I come from Michigan, and there's, I would say, the majority of my extended family would be conservative.
Yeah.
And all of them would have voted for Bernie Sanders. Every single one of them would have voted for him. And because of who the Clintons represent, they didn't. And I think that's why this gentleman became.
I think so too.
And there's just baggage, and I don't know. Really, truth is, what do we even know about Joe Biden? And I mean, really, who do we know about anybody anymore? And it's just all about these super PACs and money and this and that and whatever. And really, what are we being shown, and what is the truth? It's very interesting. And the bottom line is, though, on Tuesday, whoever's elected, I got to go to work.
Yeah.
And
when I was saying on his supporters, the hardcore supporters that they're gonna go shoot up places and stuff like that, I don't mean like everyday people that might have voted for him that go to like, that actually go to work and have families and stuff like that. I'm talking about the far rights, the loners.
I mean, right now we've got, where it's not in the news, but the sad thing is, like we always talk about that percentage.
Yeah.
There's a small percentage that's in everything that wrecks it. I mean, right now, Portland is still going on.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and like that, how long's that been going on? 3 months?
Almost
2 months?
Yeah.
Since July? Like, what the heck's going on over there? I mean, like, if I lived there, I'd be like, really? I've had it with this. I got to go to work. I don't get it. Anyway, point is, I want the best. I pray that everything works out. I don't worry about it. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I can't. I got too much stuff going on. I'm 58. I got other things to worry about.
Yeah.
And the truth is that you can't trust anything that's on the media. Everything is, it's like marketing. Media is like marketing. It's all made to branch, and who really knows what's going to happen. All I want is people to be peaceful and happy. But either way, we got to move forward in our lives here.
Yeah.
The world is a little bigger than us as a country, so it's time to start thinking about where's our place in the world, and how are we going to create something for our for your son.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm old, I'm gone, but I mean, really, I mean, so that's what matters. It's what's going to be the best for your son, and there's so much hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, truth is, why don't we have the best education system in the world?
Exactly.
I mean, really, why?
Yeah.
You want to take over the world, then everyone should have the best education because that's the only thing that matters.
Like, why is our country like not top of the list?
Yeah, well, think about you going through your school years.
Mm-hmm.
How many teachers you had that were worthless?
Yeah,
you did. And think about the few you had, and I don't know how many, 2, 3, 4 that you had, and you go back, and they're one of the most. My wife is one of these people as a teacher, by the way.
And not even that resources. How many schools that are in these inner cities that don't get anything? They could barely get textbooks, and it's like, well, how are we doing that for this country? How are we not at the top of the list?
Hey,
out of all countries,
every single person who comes in this country, whether you're an immigrant, whether you sneak in, whatever, listen, these people need to have education.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to have a shitty job your whole life. And this is a fact. And I think this should be offered. If everyone in our country, we could take back the science from the world.
Yeah. Yep.
We used to own the science from the world.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know,
and I think those issues get politicized, and it's like, it just seems like common sense to me. Why can't this country be at the top of the list in terms of education and healthcare? Like, how can this country not be?
Well, I mean, the healthcare is because what runs healthcare?
Money.
What runs healthcare? Okay, yeah. Money. So when you get the money involved, then you're not going to get the opposite.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. There was a foreign film from Canada, and it won the Oscar, and it was called The Barbarians at the Gate or something, but it talked about healthcare in Canada.
Yeah.
Socialized healthcare.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a negative thing on it in that all the people in this film were trying to sneak into America to get the health care, because even though ours is strained out, we do have some of the best doctors
in terms of specialized, in terms of like some of the best minds in the world. Yeah, we still do that.
And I think that I heard that certain universities were offering pretty substantial scholarships for doctors to go just in the GP, general practitioner, because people aren't going into that. They're going into the specialized fields for the money, different things. And anyway, that being said, you're right. So that would be, and you know what? Have you heard anything about education from either side in this? Nothing.
No.
And it is probably the most important thing.
Yeah. And I'm sure healthcare could probably get figured out too. And I'm sure that, there are certain drawbacks when you look at like Canada's handling of.
No, there's a way to make it work.
There's a way to make it work.
There's a way to make it work, but it has to be internationally controlled, because these companies say, okay, I'm not going to give you the break. I can go over here and sell them, and it doesn't matter anymore. So you're right. Those are two major. You know what the problem with money is? I don't have enough of it.
Exactly.
If I had enough, I really have always felt that I would do Rich phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think I would be good at it.
I'd be really good at it. Yeah.
I'd be very giving. I love to help people. I love to give money to people. So I think I would do really well.
Yeah.
And so yes, we are in the biggest election. Though they said in '68 was the same premise. If you think about what was going on in the world and whatever, and then 40 years from now it'll be going on
another thing.
In '68 it was the end of World War II. Now I would say things were probably pretty little out of control in World War II for a while. So, but the point is that there's an unkindness in society that was not there when I grew up, and even whether you had differences, you did not speak like you hear now. You were not allowed. And I think there's a civility of that is missing horribly. And you can't just say these things that are, and you can't just throw generalities. I mean, we are in this situation because of people throwing generalities and living generalities and not being accountable. And I have a conversation with the guy next door to me he would lean more toward the left. I lean more in the middle because I try to live my life as an accountable person.
Yeah.
But he was just, and I said, why can't we just have accountability in anything? That's all that matters.
In anything and everything. Yeah.
And everything. unless I have to be accountable. So I'm talking about others.
Yeah.
I think accountability with others would be phenomenal.
Exactly.
And in fact, I would like to magistrate that. And I think can I control that?
Yeah.
I would like to be the on the board, the cabinet of. And think about the money I'll make on the side, though.
Yeah.
I mean, really, when you look at, I want to make the green. Okay, you don't want to be accountable. It's $1 million.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in a couple of years I'm done, retired. So
a good thing about being in this political time right now with the election coming up is that we get to talk about political movies.
And on a side note, I did get a phone call from Kanye West.
Oh, nice.
And he said that I definitely have the VP spot is out, but there is, it's looking like cabinet stuff. So Secretary of Workout is what I think I'm going to be getting. So I'm pretty excited.
He needs a personal trainer. You need the presidential personal trainer.
Yeah, well, I mean, and yes, but though I don't know, the Kardashians look very fit.
Yeah.
So I think they're doing pretty good over there.
A lot of it's plastic surgery, though. So whatever does the job.
Whatever it takes. I mean,
So as far as political movies,
okay,
let's break down some of your favorites, some of mine, and then we'll share that with the audience here.
Okay. Well, my favorite political movie is Being There. It's one of I think it might be Peter Sellers' last movie.
Okay.
And it's with Shirley MacLaine and Jack Warden. It's about a gardener named Chauncey. And he has no brains.
Okay.
But people think he's a genius. And so all these political factors bring him into the White House and move him into being a puppet. Kind of like what we see on both sides of our election right now. It's a phenomenal movie. I like it. And then the second, I would say it was hard because I haven't watched a good political movie in a long time. So because I'm a lot older than you, I reach back farther. But one of my second favorite is The American President with Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas and Annette Bening, right?
Annette Bening, Martin
that was
Sheen,
a good one.
Michael J. Fox, directed by Rob Reiner. Interesting. Aaron Sorkin wrote the screenplay.
Nice.
West Wing, Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
Rob Reiner, Few Good Men.
Yeah.
So Aaron Sorkin really has and he's doing a show right now about the famous trial of the revolutionary Chicago 7 back in Chicago. And then I would think one of my favorite probably political movie is going to be All the President's Men.
Okay.
And with Robert Redford, it's by Alan Pakula.
Yeah.
Who also did Sophie's Choice. And also this director did a famous movie called Orphans.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever saw it with Albert Finney, Matthew Modine, and Kevin Anderson. It's a play. It came out of Steppenwolf Theater. Was on Steppenwolf and then got made into a movie. Anyway, with Robert Redford, Dustin Hoffman, it's from the original story by Woodward and Bernstein, the famous Washington Post journalist. It deals with Nixon and Watergate.
Yeah.
It's funny because compared to these presidents today, what Nixon did was like he told someone to break into a house, and now we're killing people. It's like so out of control. Exactly. But anyway, growing up, that's what my parents or my mom was watching during the day was the trials.
Yeah,
the Watergate trial. So it was huge for me back then.
And then everything after that gets attached to Gate at the end of it.
Of course, yeah. Hillary Gate, not Hillary Gate. What was the one? Monica Gate? Was it Monica and Bill Clinton?
Yeah.
Right. Is that the girl's name, right?
Yeah. Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah. And then I go with JFK by Oliver Stone with Kevin Costner dealing with the movie. And then an older movie, but The Contender with Joan Allen, Gary Oldman. It's about someone kind of like what we've watched with the Supreme Court justices the last two times. trying to get in, the past haunting you.
Yeah.
And then for TV, for political, what I really enjoyed was House of Cards.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey and Robin Wright, Michael Kelly, and Kate Mara. I thought those. Really, truth is, it's very depressing because you watch one show and you realize, oh well, this is how it all works, and it's a little
especially how that show came about, huh? Because it came out. That's the most recent like big political show.
Oh yeah.
And then you see everything that 2016 election came about afterwards, and then it's almost like fiction meets reality, and a lot of that stuff had been going on always, like, and some of the stuff that like is in that show, it's so spot on with how American politics runs.
It's sad. Crazy. It makes you like, and we all know that that's what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's just a shame. But anyway, so those were my movies. I did enjoy them all. But I'm going to highly, my pick of this week is Being There.
Okay.
And when we put the picture up on our Instagram, it was the number one thing. I mean, 60 people loved it. Yeah. Because it really is. It's a lot of the older movies are really resonate with people.
Yeah.
Because they watch them over and over. And so my favorite political film was Being There. Now there was an older movie with Tim Robbins where he was running for office called Bob Roberts. It was an independent film from a long time ago, and I tried doing some reference and couldn't find out about it. But so those are pretty much my movies. They are obviously, other than All the President's Men, they're pretty much fictitious. But my number one pick is Being There. Peter Sellers, of course, he's in another movie called Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah.
It is in every top 10 political movie of all time. And in fact, it's in the top 2 or 3 of almost everybody's list, from Esquire and different things. And he's famous for what? Pink Panther. I mean, Inspector Clouseau. I mean, you grew up with it. We all grew up with it. It's the French Naked Gun. Pretty much, right? Basically. So what about you for political films?
I'll go some of my most recent political films. 13 Days with Kevin Costner.
About the missile crisis.
About the Cold War, missile crisis.
Who plays Robert Kennedy in that?
It's
I really liked it.
Let me look at the cast.
Because Kevin Costner plays.
Let me see. I'll get you a cast. You have Kevin Costner is Kenneth O'Donnell. You have Bruce Greenwood.
Yeah, that's who it is.
Who's from Double Jeopardy and Star Trek.
Yeah, he's playing Kennedy, right?
He's playing Kennedy.
He's playing JFK.
Yeah, you have Stephen Culp is playing
F.
Kennedy. And you have a great cast. And I don't know. And they all have those Boston accents and the Kennedy kind of like style way of speaking with each other.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And it's just great. It's one of my
good movie. One
of my favorites. Let's go. I'll go with Frost Nixon is one of those films that I put on a lot. Whenever I want
to. I would say that is a great. Of course, I lived it.
Yeah.
So I watched it live, or not live, but the tape. But so it was really familiar. And it's interesting. I read a book by Richard Nixon one time called "No More Vietnams," and it explained the cause of everything.
Yeah.
Nixon started the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency.
No.
He went
to school in Whittier. So Whittier, he went to Whittier College.
He was Quaker.
Yeah. There's a mural of him in town over here. So
have you ever been to his library in Yorba Linda?
No.
Have you been to the Reagan one?
No. But I've
well, because I want to go down there.
I wouldn't mind going. I mean, I don't know if it's open right now. But I think my mom might have taken my brother not that long ago, my youngest brother. Yeah, so they went recently, I believe, like before Corona.
Well, I went with my sister a couple years ago.
Okay.
And first of all, it's my era, so 80. That was the first
Mhm.
president I voted for was Ronald Reagan.
Okay.
And but yeah, so it was, you forget him being shot and different things and
Yeah.
I mean, it's just stuff is so out of control,
Yeah.
you know. And it was just fascinating to relive different things. And what's interesting, there's this big room where his jet is.
Uh-huh.
And this room is so big, and it faces the glass faces the San Fernando Valley.
Uh-huh.
This room is so big that this plane doesn't even take up a fifth of it.
Oh wow. Wow.
I mean, and
What do they have else in the room? What's in the room?
Oh, his motor car's in there. There's two restaurants in this room. But the glass and how it looks,
Yeah.
it's just spectacular.
Yeah.
But I'd like to go down to my sister's been to quite a few of them.
Yeah.
For a while, but I'd like to. The Ronald Reagan is the first one. No, that's not true. Gerald Ford, because of Grand Rapids, I've been there quite a few times.
Okay.
And been to his house a couple times too,
Yeah.
in East Grand Rapids. So,
So yeah, 13 Days, Frost Nixon. I'll go Vice. I thought that was a great one.
you know what, Vice, I liked it, but
Yeah.
the bummer was that I saw a trailer that made it seem very comedic,
Okay.
and it threw me. You saw that first trailer.
Yeah.
It was almost like funny, and
Yeah.
it just kind of threw me. I like W.
I was about to say W. Vice is good. That was just one I saw recently. Was off the top of my head was Vice. W is one of my favorites, though. I really like that. I think got some criticism, I guess, for around that time because it humanized him a little bit. It kind of made George W. likable in a time when he was not so liked. But as a movie and really seeing a different side of the person and really seeing like the ins and outs of like who he is and what's his upbringing during that time, I enjoyed it. The cast, that movie's so good. W.
I talked to Josh Brolin about that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he used to work out Gold's, and when I would leave our hotel for 2 years on Sundays, and so I ended up asking him, and I said, "You made a good choice there."
Yeah.
I said, "You could have made it despicable like everybody else,
Yeah.
all the other characters, but you made it." And the truth is, more and more, there's no doubt, and even from my friends who have connections to the White House State Department,
Mm-hmm.
they say that that George Bush was one of not the father, but the son was really one of the nicer people that was in
and
the
he
White
seems
House.
like that. You see him
Very
nowadays
family.
hugging and kissing the Obamas, and it's just like,
Well, after 9/11,
painting.
after 9/11, he went to this visit the victims.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to be, it was a political thing, go in and out. And he went in there, and he sent the cameras out and did close. And he was there for about 2 to 3 hours, just walking around and hugging people and praying for them and talking and whatever. And I mean, even when you go back to that election, think about the civility. Think about the news. Think about what people were saying. It just was not on this crass ugliness level.
No.
And so it wasn't. And so to go back, all the way to the 80s, whatever. But anyway, that being said, but W, I didn't put it on my list, but more now I have to think about it. The one person in W I didn't like was Condoleezza Rice, played by. It was too cold. Too cold and cut. Yeah. That lady, I always thought that lady should run for president. She's a genius, man.
Condoleezza?
Yeah, she's
kind of stepped away, huh?
I mean, who wouldn't want to step away? I mean, I don't know why. If I was the Trump guy, I would get in my car and just leave. Why would I deal with this anymore? I mean, any president, you got to say, after 4 years, I'm sure Obama was like, this is bullshit. Do I really want to do this for 4 more years? Exactly. I'm already getting a hell of a salary. I've made millions. Can we just go somewhere else?
Yeah.
I mean, who wants to be it doesn't matter who you are, you're screwed for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean?
It's true. Somebody's going to hate you.
Is there some ego involved in this thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is there ego involved?
Oh, it's huge. A lot of it's ego.
The whole world.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, guess what? I mean, can you see an argument? Yeah, well, I was the president. So it is what it is. Anyway, W13, great movie.
Those are two of my favorites. I mean, there's so many political movies that you can go off of, but like those are two of my favorites that I find myself watching on a regular basis.
Well, Oliver Stone did JFK.
JFK's. I forgot about it. JFK's.
He did Nixon with Anthony Hopkins.
Charlie Wilson's
and W too. Oh, Charlie Wilson with Tom Hanks.
Yeah,
it could have been a great movie.
Yeah,
it was one of Tom Hanks' kind of movies that just slowly. You know what I mean? Because the story was better than the movie. The real story was better than the movie.
Would you even Zero Dark 30? Would you consider that more of a political movie than a war movie?
I would say that it was 100%. You're talking about Osama bin Laden was there to topple governments.
Yeah, but that movie political more than a war, right?
Yeah. So you had Clinton that could have killed him and let him go 3 weeks before because he didn't want political fallout. George Bush couldn't find him, and then Obama got it together and killed him. So that's 3 presidents. So that pretty much, you know what's interesting? When I went to Kathmandu, so when I went,
you go back even further when they were supplying his regimen with all that to fight against, with the Russians.
Of course,
Afghanis with the Russians.
Well, Patton said
he survived through a lot of presidents.
They'll be fighting communism forever.
Yeah,
that's what George Patton said, the famous general.
No, I'm talking about bin Laden though. When you look at
that's what I mean though. But it was all we gave bin Laden because we're fighting communism.
Yeah.
You're watching Narcos Cali. What's this all about?
Yeah.
The Bushes didn't care about the drugs. They were fighting communism. That was what the whole deal was.
Yeah.
They were selling drugs to fund the people who were fighting the communists.
Yeah.
My favorite picture is George Sr. with Noriega on the couch. No, I take that back. My favorite picture when George Sr. is president is Pablo Escobar and his son at the gate of the White House.
Mm-hmm.
They went on a tour. They went on it. I mean, if you want, I guess if you want to talk about politics,
if you want to see the hypocrisy and everything,
that pretty much says everything right there. There's my story. Pablo's in the White House. The most haunted man by our government is in the White House. So anyway, that's kind of funny how you say that.
All goes back to like Narcos.
Have you been to the White House?
No, never been to DC.
No, because my mom grew up in Maryland.
Yeah.
My grandma's sister, my aunt, lived in Washington. And her husband worked for health and welfare, and their son had the highest level in the government without an appointment.
Okay, nice.
And I forget which area he worked off. So we grew up going to all those. I was at the Smithsonian when the new Air and Space museum opened. And we would always go. We were always down there in the White House and all that. When it was even the different areas, but I don't even know. Do they have people in the White House? Can you go in anymore?
Since Corona, I don't know.
Well, no, but even there. You know how you can't drive on that street, but I lived in that time when there was no. Yeah, there was no fortress. There was no boundaries.
I don't know.
And I told you my nephew. So. Here's my White House story.
Yeah.
My nephew was working for Tillerson, and Tillerson got fired. Uh-huh. He was doing an internship from Michigan State.
Yeah.
So he ended up it was close to him leaving, so he ended up working at the White House doing tours.
Yeah.
So when Obama was president, his Secretary of Energy stayed at our hotel, and the Secret Service guys who I hung out with, they gave me a pin. Well, I had given that to my nephew.
Yeah.
So he's at the White House and he saw Pence coming.
Yeah.
So he put the pin on and walked over and shook his hand and shook his hand and goes, "I'm Jack Henry." And the everyone was kind of freaked out. And the vice president said, "Well, I'm the vice president," and shook his hand, was kind of cool about it. But then, so they went wherever. And then one of the Secret Service says, "Where'd you get that pin?" The guy goes, "I got it from my uncle." He goes, "Well, take it off." So anyway, that's my.
That could have been bad. Imagine if that was all you need is a pin to get through, huh? Yeah.
Well, I mean, what was it in the old day? Okay, Harry S. Truman, who's one of my, I read about that president.
Yeah.
On his desk, there was a sign that says "The buck stops here." Famous sign. You've heard of that phrase. He made a comment when he left the White House: "If you make a penny in politics, you're a crook."
Mm-hmm.
So him and his wife drove and stayed in my mom's town in Frostburg, Maryland. They were at a diner and someone came up to them and said, "Hey, my mom is sick. She voted for you." They went to the mom's house.
Wow.
No Secret Service, just a different. So the president and his wife getting in a car and just leaving, and they went back to Missouri.
Different time. Crazy.
Imagine taking over for Roosevelt during World War II. When you got to make a decision to use a nuclear weapon. I mean, it's a different time, but a time that changed everything. Up today. So anyway, yes, we're voting, or I already did, but that doesn't seem like the right thing. You can just vote by mail. I don't know, something about that.
Well, it's been good I'd never done it before, but it's been, I guess it's been going on. That's how they used to vote back in the day. So it's been an ongoing thing for forever.
So I don't think we will have a president on Tuesday night. It'll be impossible.
No, we almost never really do unless it's like a clear-cut victory. But
I remember when Reagan beat Mondale.
But when they know it's who's it's going to go to, then they kind of call it.
Did you see when Reagan beat Mondale? It was 49-1 state. I mean, it was a bad. I just don't. I'll tell you what, though. There's a Democratic guy I really like. He's from New York, named Crenshaw. He's a rookie guy right now, but he's really right in the middle. Really like that guy. I think eventually he'll be he did, I guess, when you do 2 tours in Afghanistan and you get your eyes shot out, you get a different perspective in life a little bit. But
is he not the guy with the eye patch, is he?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Is he a Democrat?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've seen him here and there.
They made fun. Remember the guy, Pete Davidson, made fun of him on Saturday Night Live.
What's his name again? I've seen him.
I thought it was Crenshaw, but I could be wrong. But he's the rookie senator from New York.
Yeah. I'm just here. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Daniel Crenshaw.
But anyway, he's in the middle. He's the way it should be.
No. He's from Texas.
Oh, Texas. Sorry.
And he's Republican.
Is he? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I take it back. Everything I said about him.
No, because I was like, I remember seeing him a bunch of times, and I was like, I thought that guy was Republican. He got these, and I didn't think he was from New York.
I thought he was. I'm sorry. I'm totally wrong. Anyway, I like what he has to say.
Yeah.
Very
no, he's very straightforward. He's very I've seen him speak before. He seems a very sensible person. I might not align with whatever he's, his political views or whatever on a lot of stuff. But
what do you mean? His political views is that he's going to give you $1 million. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm on board. You know what? I'm gonna tell you what. You know what I asked Steve?
Sign me up.
I asked Steve from our old hotel. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I said, Steve, would you vote for Trump? He goes, never. I said, how about if he gave you $1 million? He goes, where do I sign up?
Exactly.
Yeah, I could be pretty happy with the $1 million. Well, I guess $1 million is kind of lame now.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't get
compared to
you.
my days. Because
Honestly,
remember,
I could do some damage with $1 million though.
listen, man, to make money, I gave some regular cookies,
Yeah.
those peanut butter, or not the peanut butter ones, the chocolate chip with the
Yeah.
walnut, to this lady at our hotel, man, and she said that they were. She just said, "I don't eat cookies like that." So if I had the money, I would go back into the cookie business for sure.
For me, money with $1 million, let's say straight up $1 million, probably buy a nice house. I'll go.
Would you stay in LA?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd stay in LA. I like it out here. Probably Whittier area, somewhere up in the hills. Probably 800.
I want to live in Venice and then Mount Baldy. I want to live in Venice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
And then I want to live on Baldy Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Nice.
And just, I like it. I like the beach.
You get like a nice house here, get a small house and like some vacation spot you really want. And then I don't know. You can do some with $1 million. You could do a nice. You could get.
Well, are you having to pay tax on it? Because that.
Well, let's say you're not quitting your job. I wouldn't. It's not.
Oh no, I wouldn't quit my job because that would piss people off. Like, why is he working, man? Screw that guy.
But for $1 million, I'm not quitting my job for $1 million. It's comfortable money.
No, if someone gave me $1 million today, I wouldn't ever go to work again. I would go to another job, but I wouldn't go back to my job now.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, no, yes. I'll move on to something.
Because you know what? I could take that $1 million and put in a salary.
Yeah.
Let's say 75, 80, and set that up so that I get those payments, and think about 6, 7 years of being able, I would get an office. I would write.
Yeah.
Truth is, if there's one thing I would love, would be to have an area outside of my house to do my work.
Yeah.
To write in a house when everyone's online and everyone in your house, my writing, since school started in August, my writing has been crap.
It's tough.
I can't concentrate.
Yeah.
And I am a writer out loud.
Yeah.
I listen to it because I like dialogue to have a certain rhythm and tone. Yeah. So it is hard. So that would be what I would do for $1 million. Or I would get a new head of hair. Like, Fabio shit.
Yeah.
Not Fabio. Who was the dude with the blonde hair?
Just get little doll plugs.
I doubt. Truth is, I wouldn't put a penny into my head. I mean, it doesn't matter to me anymore.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though. I would like to live down by the beach.
That'd be nice.
In fact, I'm thinking that I'd like to go down there and stay at that Venice Suites for a month. Yeah. I'd like to stay there for a month.
Right now would probably be the time to do it because the rates you would probably get are pretty cheap.
Well, when my family comes, they're coming at Christmas time. I'm going to put them up in the Sheraton, the new Sheraton over on Valley.
Yeah.
Have you seen the rooms?
No, I haven't seen it.
And with my rate, with my Marriott rate for that, it's like nothing.
Yeah.
So and it's a mile from my house, so my family's going to stay over there.
That's good.
My wife says, "Why don't you put them in our hotel?" Yeah, our hotel is nasty, man.
It's tough, man. It's tough right now, especially. Yeah, would you put them at the Westin? No way, hell no.
Not after
anymore.
What I heard. Mm-mm. Truth is, when the Bonaventure, or not the Bonaventure, but when the Renaissance did that huge rehab, it took all the business. When Marriott bought the Westin, that's what hurt our location.
Yeah,
totally. Because our hotel, when I got there before you did, dude, that was like, I mean, that occupancy was at 97%, and from Monday to Friday, there was no problems. Weekends, you lowered the rates to fill, but that was a business hotel, and it was on a whole other level.
Yeah.
Even when you got there, it was on a different level than when you left.
Yeah.
And right now, I mean, my hotel is averaging around 48 to 50%. Mm-hmm. But even then, it's all hotel. It's all hotel tonight, people.
Yeah, it's not good.
Changes everything. The concept.
Yeah. All right, man.
They should. Our hotel should have. And the Westin should have a Kush concierge, like a marijuana guy.
Yeah.
You know, hi.
Just do a dispenser, a small store right there to have a dispensary.
No, I think if you have a person more hippie-ish, you know, are you looking for the sativa or indica? You know, that way you wouldn't. And then they wouldn't have to sit out front.
Yeah.
But which I guess that whole area out front is just solid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
So, when was the last time you were down there?
I've driven by it. Maybe it hasn't since the beginning, early in the year. Haven't been in that area.
I'm going to be going down there maybe in a week or two because I want to drop some cookies off for Jesse.
Okay.
Like that guy. That guy he was a good man. That guy knows everything about movies and TV, and working with him was just enjoyable on every level.
Let me know how it is down there, because I wonder how it looks, the feel, the vibe.
It won't be there. It'll probably be a week from Monday because this week I have to finish the set for my wife. Like my wife they're at the school. They're having a drive-through.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
they're having a drive-through Halloween right now.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
So, anyway, listen, man. Good week.
Good week, man.
Good talking with you. After you post, let me know, and I'll put the recap up.
Absolutely.
And,
no problem. All right. Yeah. Good? Thank you for everybody for listening, watching, subscribe. Go out there and vote, and just have a great, safe week.
And watch movies.
Watch movies, man. All right.
Better.